child within me. I have to grow, and I'm not sure I'm ready to meet it when everything changes. They tell me that it changes. I'm not sure I'm ready to be there. The person I met when I was fast asleep. I don't know how to be her. I don't know. Life moves faster when I don't want to catch up. Can we pause it for a moment? I need a little moment to understand everything and feel my wings grow to the woman I'm becoming. I really like to know when all your friends they fade in and fade out, and the person that you came with is not the one you stay with. Can you be sure you're ready to face this? The person I met when I was lost in me. I don't know how to be her. I don't know. And I run away, 'cause it's so easy not to stay. Rewind all the days and go back to a world where I never changed, we never faded. Time was all ours, she never was erased. And just to spend it in time. Ooh, 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 I don't know how to be her. I don't know. I'm sure it's written down somewhere, just waiting for us to grow up and get there. Hey friends, how are you all? I hope you're all well. I just kind of wanted to pop on and just say hi and give you a little life update, I guess. Just a teeny little update. So I think like a few days ago was National or International Mental Health Day. I didn't know this. I don't really know any of those like niche days, you know, like National Ice Cream Day and Dog Day, Pet Day, Sister Day, whatever. But apparently a couple of days ago, maybe like a day ago, I don't know, because time is like so warped for me, as I'm filming this, a couple of days ago or a day ago, it was National or International, I have no idea, Mental Health Day. And I actually have been struggling with my mental health for a couple of days. I want to say like a week, or like a week that it's been really, really bad. But yeah, so like when I, like the day, I think it was yesterday as I'm filming this, I didn't know that that was the day, but I thought it was very, not convenient, but like ironic, I guess, that it was this mental health day, and here I was having like an insane mental, like kind of emotional breakdown. Just a lot of stuff has been going on, obviously, besides what we're all collectively going through, but for me personally and for close friends and stuff, just a lot has been happening, and that toppled with how I've been feeling. I'm still a little bit ill, not as bad with like what I had before. If you know, I was sick with like a skin infection and stuff like that, but just different pains and just like the whole kind of like lack of motivation. I don't like to ever say that I am depressed, but I get the blahs. And sometimes they make me sad, and sometimes they don't. They just kind of make me unmotivated to do much of anything. And this time it was kind of all of it in one, plus just stress and anxiety, so much anxiety, like feeling anxious for no apparent reason. But obviously there's always a reason for these things. It's just a lot of the times, for me, it's all like mental. Like it's all in my head. I tend to cycle. I call it the cycling. So it's kind of like a downward spiral where like usually it's like something that would bother me, whether it's like a pain that I have or a thought or just something, and I'm a natural worrier, and so I kind of, I guess, build myself up, and then it just goes poof, like it just goes on, and to the point where I kind of don't have any control of it anymore, even though it's all of them in my head, all my thoughts. But yeah, honestly, I think a lot of us with anxiety have some form of that, of the cycling. I call it cycling because there was a YA author. His name was Ned Vizzini, and if you read YA or if you know anything about YA, he wrote a book called It's Kind of a Funny Story, and that was made into a movie with Emma Roberts and Zach Galifianakis. And in it, the main character Greg, in the actual book, I don't know if he might have mentioned it in the movie as well. It's probably in the script, but in the book, there's a whole section where he talks about cycling, the cycle of just how your brain, your mind can just start from somewhere really small that is very a small chunk of your anxiety, and then it can just snowball and just explode, and you're just in a full-blown panic attack, and it's just, yeah. And so I read this when I was in high school, and one of the few books that like was like, oh my god, that's me, you know, like that you can see yourself in it. And so I just started calling it the cycling, because that's what it is. It's what my brain does. It just kind of cycles out of control. And so I had a couple of moments where that was happening and all this other stuff. And yeah, so if I seem a bit aloof, I am. Don't let social media fool you. Most of the stuff that I post have been pre-scheduled weeks in advance, and so I'm not actually on there. I'll check and respond to comments every so often, but I'm not live on there, I guess you can say. Maybe to like post a story about something, but the posts themselves, like I had my last Felicity Jane post, like when it auto posted, because I don't even post it, I have it auto posted to Instagram. I like kind of read over the caption when it was posted, and I'm like, wow, I sound like a completely different person wrote that caption. That wasn't me writing that caption. Somebody else completely wrote that caption, because I would never be able to write such kind of like a peppy caption, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, if I'm just a little off, that's kind of why. I actually feel much better today than I have been feeling. I did, have a nice talk with my mom. I had a nice talk with some friends who are going through some things too, and it's talking helps. Crying helps. Just having a good cry is always a good thing. Never hold in a cry, because it just kind of releases all this, I guess you can call it stress, or like, that thing that you feel in it, and it makes you feel a little better. I do have a lot of pain in my back, and so that's kind of what started the whole thing, but I think honestly it's just a mixture of anxiety, stress, and possibly my hormones kind of in the mix. My friend who actually struggles really hard with anxiety told me that there is a correlation between back pain and anxiety, so there's that. But other than that, I feel a little bit better today. Actually, yesterday too, I kind of felt a little good. I ended up watching movies like, let me tell you, I think I've watched Stardust like 3 times already. 2 or 3 times already. The movie is just, I don't know, it just kind of takes me out of my setting, really, and it's such a great movie, and it makes you feel good, and I might watch it again, who knows. But I did watch like a Pixar documentary on Pixar. I love Disney documentaries, like they're my favorite. And yeah, so I just kind of feel a little bit better. I have been playing my guitar. Fun fact, I haven't really played my guitar in maybe like about a year and a half. And so I, of course, picked it up because for some reason when I feel like this, music helps. So I'm terribly rusty at it. I don't remember any of the lyrics to any of my songs, as you can probably see if I put any of the clips that I tried to record in this video. But yeah, it's just been a couple of days. It's taken me quite a long time to film this video too, because I'm battling with the noise everywhere, and I really wanted to share a song with you, but yeah. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to pop in, just tell you how I am, and just say that, you know, if you're feeling like this, and I know we're all feeling some bit of anxiety and stress and just, I don't want to say defeat, but like grief and loss and just unwell, try not to be so hard on yourself. I mean, that's something that I have to keep reminding myself all the time, because a lot of us are going through this, and we are living through like the most weirdest time in like the modern age, I think. Like, it's so bizarre what we're going through, and like, you know, you can't really go out and hug people. You can't, you know, your friends and family members, it's hard. It's really hard, and people are going through a lot of tough things. And yeah, I just, you know, kind of wanted to say that whatever you're feeling, for whatever reason it is, you have every right to feel those things. I know people who, you know, are struggling because they can't have their dream wedding, and I know other people are just like, but it's just a wedding, like you can have it anytime. But you know, that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of planning, and maybe your heart was set on something specific and it can't happen. That's a big loss to kind of deal with. Imagine all of the kids who were seniors this year, and they got to miss out on, like, you know, the senior trip, you know, senior prom, their graduation. Like, it's hard. It's really hard, no matter what your circumstances. If you lost your job, if you lost a loved one, it's all hard, and it's all the same. Like, it's all the same pain and grief and loss, no matter what the scale of it is, you know? I think some people, I don't know why we as human beings tend to kind of, like, it's always a competition. Like, suffering is always a competition, that somebody's always suffering, like, more than you are, and I don't believe that's the case. I think we all suffer and grieve in our own ways, in our own circumstances, and they're all completely valid. Like, they're like, nobody's pain is worse than somebody else's pain, and nobody's grief, nobody's loss is somebody else's loss. And like, you know, I was one who would be like, oh, I don't have it as bad as other people, and that's true, I don't really have it as bad as other people, but that concept, it's funny, you will all appreciate this, but it's a concept that really kind of stuck with me when Heidi Swapp said it to me when I met her in person at a paper source. She was doing a little demo, and there was just a few ladies there. I think I was the only one who was kind of fangirling, and I, you know, got to talk to her. This is when she had lost her son, and, you know, I had lost my dad, and I was telling her how sharing her story is what got me into scrapbooking and like all this other stuff, and I said something to her. I said, I can't even imagine being a parent and losing a child. That must be so hard. And she was just like, it's the same as me losing my dad. And I didn't see it that way, because you always hear, oh, it's probably worse to be a parent and lose a child. But she said it's the same. It's the same. Whatever you felt, it's the same. It's the same pain. And that got me thinking, like, wow, whatever our pain is, it's this fundamentally the same pain. It's just a different circumstance. And so if you're feeling terrible about something and you think it's so minute and not like that bad in comparison to somebody else who had, like, I guess, a greater loss, or what seems like a greater loss, you guys are both going through the exact same things. It's just a different circumstance, and we all deal with things differently. And so I just kind of wanted to leave you guys with that, because I know we're all going through some tough time, and just never think that your suffering is lesser than someone else's or greater than someone else's. Just kind of be, I guess, sympathetic and empathetic and compassionate, and just know that you're not going through it alone. You're never going through these things alone, because people feel the same, the same ways and stuff like that. And just to know that everything is just temporary. My mom has to keep reminding me this all the time, that, this too shall pass. Everything is temporary. And if you have it in your control to change something, to change the situation, to make it better for you, do so. Me, my little things, there's not much that I can change at the moment. It's just something that I have to cope with and deal with. But there is one thing that I can change, and so it's just kind of coming up with a plan how I'm going to go about changing this, and maybe that will kind of be like a domino effect and kind of result in change in the other things that I can't personally change right now. But yeah, just everything is temporary. Your feelings are 100% valid. Feel them deeply and let it out. Talk to people. If you have a therapist, talk to them. See if you can just talk. I know it's like this whole thing is really strange, but there's always somebody out there to talk to. If you need help, definitely go get the help. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on and just share some things. It's been some things that I've been thinking about and dealing with, and I just kind of felt like some of you might need to hear it too. I mean, you probably have already heard it somewhere else, but just to hear it again. But yeah, I really hope you are all well, and hopefully I can kind of be motivated again to just do the things that I enjoy doing. Right now, not so much, but I'm hopeful that I will get kind of back to the place where I feel content, because I don't think we can be truly happy in this system, because happiness is, of course, relative, just like every other emotion. Everything is relative. But like Dan Harris always says, I would just like to be 10% happier, and get back to that place where I am 10% happier. So yeah, I hope you are all well, stay safe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.